Great pleasure to welcome back Guillaume, who was with us this morning, and can talk to us about zERT, which I'm very interested in, actually. So, no pressure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I have a question for you. It's echoes to the question regarding pervasive encryption adoptions, regarding dataset encryptions. Who is using zERT today? I'm asking again, who is using zERT today? Introduced with the Z14, with zOS 2.3. Okay.
Yes, we are. Sorry.
Thank you.
We just started to.
Okay.
Selected the record, not necessarily joking.
Okay. Definitely, this presentation has been designed for you so that you can have a full tour of what zERT is, the reason why it has been shipped as part of the pervasive encryption strategy, and what you can do with zERT. Clearly, it's a masterpiece, a cornerstone in order to take back control of the network security. And I will explain you why and what you can do, let's say, to industrialize the practice in order to perform network security assessment on demand. Okay? So the story starts with the IBNet 14 and people looking at zOS dataset encryptions. But today, we have more and more needs to think about the network security and to check what is protected and what is not protected, and to ask ourselves, can we do some more, or should we do some more, and for what is protected, is it good enough, or is it not protected at all? Because time to time we are setting up things. Time is running so fast, and we sharpened the saw in order to check again if what we did in the past is still good today. So multiple questions, multiple needs. And finally, we decided in my teams to create or to design a network security assessment, basically to face the new requirements in terms of regulations like NIS, PCI DSS 4.0, and zero trust. So zero trust, for sure, the second principle introduced this statement quite explicit, and PCI DSS 4.0 mandates organizations to review their cipher suites. So it should not be the fruit of hazard or legacy or things from the past. You should know the reason why you select and you are running some ciphers into production. That's mandatory with PCI DSS 4.0. So that's for the business reason. And most importantly, a practical way, customers struggle to have an idea of what is the big picture of our network security. As I said, what is protected, what is not? Or percentage of network session that is protected, meaning encrypted, versus not protected. Who knows such big picture statistics for their organization? You are intuiting, you believe, you feel, or because of what you did with ATTLS, you have an idea of your perceptions, but are you generating such high-level pictures? Probably not. zERT can help you to do that. Health check. Okay, for what you are doing, is it good enough according to IT security guidelines from the NCSC, from the PCI DSS, from whatever? Good questions. So to go deeper, we can check what you did and if it's good enough or not enough. Okay, so this is the second thing that our customers used to ask us, and zERT can definitely help for that. Then, my favorite part. For what is protected, rapidly, we know if it is good enough. For what is not protected, we need to know what will be our next best actions. According to the volume of network connection and session not protected today, we have to start somewhere. So thanks to zERT and the data provided, you have an ability processing a bit such data to connect the dot and to data map, finally, all of the inbound and outbound network connection and sessions from and to your LPARs. From this starting point, you can identify job name, user ID, and then you know what's behind in terms of workloads. This should help and ease, let's say, to identify, okay, if I do that, it's 20% of my network that I'm protecting. So we will see what we can do. And to conclude, if you are able to do 1, 2, 3 once, next step is to do 1, 2, 3 many times a week, a month, a year. So we will talk about automations and how to industrialize this process. So I said, I'm going to skip this one, working on the network security and having a network security assessment process is interesting. This is helpful to demonstrate to those working on the governance and the ecosystem that you are taking care of the network security policies, the encryption policy that is written somewhere in the enterprise, but probably not applied enough in the mainframes. It's important to protect, let's say, the data in motion, and to guarantee a good authentication mean to access to resources. That's very important. What has been captured there in terms of logs, in terms of events, incidents should be shared. It's important that the network event and incident can be shared with the rest of the existing security functions in the organizations, meaning you are collecting your SMF record, you pass the buck to those managing the CM. And you have to be sure also they are exploiting such data. Most of the time they are receiving it, but if you are not explaining them how to use them and what's inside, it's dead. It has no meaning. So it's important to be sure it's a two-way relationship. And I will explain you what we can do and what you can do using their data to satisfy such integration services. So zERT has been designed and released with ZOS 2.3. Basically, it helped to answer these 4 questions. Which traffic is being protected, which is not? How is the traffic being protected? Who does the traffic belong to? There exists a new configuration adhere to your company's security policy. So basically, it's important to use zERT in order to list and to make an inventory of all of your network connections and sessions from and to an LPAR. And zERT is captured a lot of things about quality and quantity. And zERT is a suite. So zERT comes with 4 different components. zERT discovery, it scans most of the TCP/IP network session and connections. Okay, but as zERT is talky, we need a new component named zERT aggregations to aggregate that around session ID and timestamp for each LPAR. And then you have something that is digestible. Once exported into a text file, it's human readable. Clearly, you see date, time, LPAR, TCP/IP stack name, from, to, mean IP address source, IP address destinations, protocol in use, version of the protocol, how many packets was sent, was uploaded, downloaded. Wonderful source of information and easy to read. Clearly. zERT Network Analyzer is a GUI that you have to install with ZOSMF, and then you have a graphical user interface in order to list some queries, some dashboard you may want to use rapidly, let's say, based upon your needs. For example, you can create a query to consume the zERT aggregations SMF record, and the object of this query may be, did I use SSL v3? Of course not. So some of you are using for sure. And TLS v1 and so on. So you can create some queries of this kind, let's say, in order to look for the presence or the absence of a particular match regarding the network encryptions and the network protocol version and so on. So it's quite interesting. So the last component of zERT is zERT policy-based enforcement. So basically, if you detect something here, you can create a policy stating about what you should do with such type of connections. For example, SSL v3. Okay, authorize but trace, or block and trace, or authorize and no trace. So basically, you can simply define a policy in order to react or to accept or to reject such type of connections from a server point of view or from a client point of view. So it is very important. So clearly, zERT, my recommendation there is configure it, start to collect your first SMF 119 subtype 12, and you will see with zERT aggregation, you can see a lot of good things once exported or even used with the zERT network analyzer. So that is, next slide was simply about quick description of what has just said for all of the modules. So let me tell you my proposed methodology for a security assessment using zERT. It's simple. You start with the data collection, so you can orchestrate that data collections to collect SMF record 119 subtype 12 in all of your LPARs or LPAR that matters. Then you have to regroup all of these different SMF record into a single data set, and you probably have to export it in order to process it. When I say export, it means it's well structured. So exporting that into a CSV file is not a big deal. And once in the CSV file, as Colin showed us this morning with Excel, with columns, I mean, then you see the light. We were blind before, but now we see the, yes, please.
Data collection, is it a live collection against live SMF, or is it an extract utility?
An extract, I mean, it's like any other SMF record.
So
but you have to activate this. If there is something to be changed, it's not simply about selecting SMF 119 subtype 12. You have a small configuration change to generate that.
So it could be there's a latency there, it's asynchronous.
Yes. It's not for real-time analysis. Yeah. Okay, so yes, you need some time because it's an aggregation. So aggregation on the timestamp. If your interval of collection is 15 minutes, you have to wait for the end of the So once it's exported, then you can start what I call a charting and scorecard process, meaning you focus on the column and say this column is about protocol version. If you see TLS version 1, not good. SSL v3, not good. Rapidly, you can see what is happening and then creating your pie chart and so on. Traffic modeling. For what is not protected, it means there is no security protocol in place. And you need to process and to analyze basically what is not protected from where, meaning what LPAR, what applications, job name, user ID, and to figure out what could be your next best actions. And then what we used to do is to present our finding to our customers, and we used to explain also how to integrate what has been done here a more automated way. So I will focus mainly on these different the four first steps with this zERT assessment. So once exported the CSV, as I said, zERT look like this, HD time. That the name of the LPAR, syslex name, the protocol in use, known mean no protocol, TLS mean TLS, SSH, IPsec. That's the different choice. Then job name, user ID, the protocol, TCP, UDP, the source IP, destination. There is a flag also that I didn't display here. Is it a connection from a client point of view or a server point of view? That is very important because otherwise you may confuse about source and destinations. It's important also to use this flag because when you are a server, your services should be. That's what is expected from a secured server. As a client, you are accepting to touch another server or not. It's a discretionary approach. So you have to split your efforts to clean and to improve things from your server posture and your client posture. And with zERT, you simply have, let's say, to focus on what is tagged as server or client. That's a thing that you may have in mind. So once you are collecting this, many columns that are easy to read here. The zERT SMF record, as I said, are quite heavy, quite big. So there are some tweaks in order to reduce their size. So working with the interval of data collections, and you can clean and apply a curation process in order to remove all of the columns you don't care. Then this helps.
There are a lot more columns than you showed there.
Yes. Oh, on Excel, it starts from column A to W.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there is a lot of So you can clean a bit and focusing on what is interesting for you. That is absolutely possible. It's not a thing that you connect every day because it's quite big. but you should be prepared to collect on purpose for an audit, or to demonstrate to your boss that everything is all right. So yeah, I talked to this already. So once the data collections took place and you have your SMF 119 subtype 12, thanks to zERT discovery and aggregations, now you have in front of you two main objectives to achieve. At first, you have to check what is protected and if it is enough protected. This overview is a funky chart just to show you what is the split between, for this customer, what is protected, not protected. For what is protected, most of what is here is TLS v1, SSL v3, which is not good, but you have an idea of volumes and quality. That's very important. And then we will enter into details one more time, thanks to zERT, in order to understand what is happening from where to where, and finally, what applications are impacted with this. The second step we will see later is for what is not protected, and we will try to understand how, using the zERT data, we can model, finally, what is not protected today. So let's focus on the charts and the scorecard. Using the zERT structure, we have one block per block of information per protocol in use. If there is no security protocol, there is the three last blocks of the SMF record are empty. If TLS protocol is used, the first block is full of information. If it's IPsec, the third block will be full. If it is SSH, the second block will be full. But analyzing and the data that is provided by zERT, we can list according to your network security guidelines in your organizations. Let's say if the protocol in use in your mainframe complies with the protocol that are mandatory in your organizations, this is exactly what you can do. Then you can check the public key size in digital certificate. Then you can check if the domain name used in the digital certificate does not embed an IP address, which is forbidden. Okay, you can create an audit just for that. And all of this information can be seen from zERT. I mean, it's just a question about one column, one timestamp, one LPAR. And then you can see that. And with pivot chart of Excel, that's much more easy. You can create your slide, your pie chart, and so on for each LPAR. That's very important. You need to create your own checklist. I have mine. I can share with you. Simply with these items for TLS, SSH, and IPsec, you are covering 80% of the major needs to take back control of the security regarding the network. But it is important also to be able to conclude rapidly, particularly if you have to plan a C-level presentations and feedback according to your findings. So we need some charts to present the general view, what you learned regarding this protocol supported, okay, overall. But time to time, this is not good enough. You have a good idea in terms of volumes, but you don't know if the some exposed LPAR are good, while some other LPAR are not good. So you need also to go into the detail per LPAR. This is why you need general view charts and LPAR view chart. And what I used to recommend is according to the criteria set here, you simply have to be able to conclude with pass, info, and warning. This is an example. The way we used to document that, or to it's my view. I have to explain the reason why of my criteria. Over there. Okay. No, okay, let's stop there. Jamie. Yep, you put it back. Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So what the way I used to explain that is you explain what you look for, what is the standard. So I'm expecting to see that only TLS version 1.2 and 1.3 is in use. Oh, the general view show me with my dozen of LPARs that TLS version 1 and 1.2 are in use. Unfortunately, the 36% of the sessions are protected with TLS version 1, forbidden in 2018 because of PCI DSS. So there are many reasons why this is there. Compatibility, we have some ATM, we have some appliance, let's call it them that way, that cannot be upgraded. So we are forced, let's say, to use such. But it's important to be able to rate and to know the situations, and zERT can help you to do that. Interestingly, the general view is not correct enough to conclude. So a view per LPAR demonstrates that, oh, this group of LPARs look like nearly the same. This one is well protected. This one well protected, but remaining TLS-V1, the conclusion per LPAR or per group of LPAR will be different. This is why you have to split your point of view with a general approach. Definitely 36% is too high. And then, oh, okay, who's the owner of this 12 bar? Good job, guys. And this one, meeting next Monday in my office. So that is the first type of things we can do rapidly, analyzing the zERT data. Another example with the public key size in the digital certificate. 1% RSA with one key size, which is forbidden since a while, but still there. Because if the certificate does not expire, it will remain there. No one will say anything. But zERT can see that. That's the 4th or 10 last column of zERT is about providing information with the name of the digital certificate, CN, and so on, and you can identify which one. That's very easily. So you can point to this one. Time to time blur, zERT is blind, meaning he sees something, but as the communication server didn't be fully part of the security sequence, he was not able to conclude about the key size. This is why some zero may happen, but it's just because there is a double encryption or it has been the security was covered by something else than the communication server. So very simple, very easy with pivot charts and just counting the number of occurrence of this for each LPAR. It's easy type of queries. So when you find something, you have to extract in a side Excel spreadsheet or CSV file all of the sections that conflict with your network security policy. So that someone can simply take this as an action plan to remove, to identify, and to remove the use of the RSA size, as you can see here. Once the exercise is done, you can come back to your scorecard saying good, sorry, not good, not good, and the reason why, good, good, good. And basically, you have a good idea. You put a date, a time, and then you are redoing that a month or a quarter after, and you can see the evolutions. I hope there is a good evolution, otherwise there will be in trouble. But that is typically the kind of thing you can do analyzing zERT. The other interesting aspect is you can propose a dashboard of this kind with a date and a time, and then you can compare over the time what you found. This is important also. The analysis of the cipher suite in use can be revealed by zERT, and then you can clearly check if the naming scheme complies with the recommendations from your IT security guidelines. The same for the integrity, digital signatures, the use of perfect forward secrecy. All of what we discussed this morning from the crypto can be seen there. Just a matter of working on the query and what you look for. But most of what you look for is already in the zERT, aggregation data. Using zERT network analyzer, you can forget what I said about the CSV and the Excel spreadsheet. You can simply upload that on ZOSMF zERT plugin, and then you can use some query to check from the data collections the presence of SSLv3, SSLv2. Basically, you can compose like a poem what you want to check from the data sources. So if you merge all of your SMF records from all of your LPARs into a single data set, then you can feed zERT network analyzer with this data set, and you have a global view of all of your LPARs. That's a magic tool. It implies that you set up ZOSMF, you install the plugin, and you create a DB2 data table to persist such information because the query requires DB2 install. So I know a lot of customers does not install their network analyzer for this reason, but it's clearly a thing that is very important. And once you have the findings applying this query, you can export the output, let's say, as a CSV file in order to start investigation and to archive for later. So this is basically what we can do with zERT as part of a network security assessment, just to check the quality and the quantity of what we are doing to protect the network. Okay, but we did half the job. Half the job. You know what is the average of encrypted network session in Europe? According to my last 36 customers. 30. Who said 10? No, it's a bit above. 20? Oh, it's 25.
Really?
Yes, 25. If you are below, then you can contact me. If you are above, the progress of the others are quite fast, because when you are below the bar, you say, oh, I need to do something, otherwise the technical depth will be very high. So it's very important. The best I saw is a UK customer with 85% of network session being encrypted. Encrypted.
Oh, wow.
TLS, IPsec, and SSH, 85%. So they don't fear the zero trust. But for those willing to say, oh, the company has a new, it's trendy, we have to put zero trust everywhere. But if you look at what's happening here, a few is encrypted. So the remaining work is important. Yes?
Is that talking about internet, or is there a something on the internet?
All the traffic from and to the mainframe captured by their data collection. It's I think mainly intranet, but probably not internet. I don't have a lot of customers having mainframe internet facing, so.
Just repeat your question for people on the remote side. Could you repeat your question for the?
Oh, okay. The question was about if my statistics was about intranet or internet traffic. So I said it is both, as long as it was captured by zERT records. So let's now talk about what we can do to model the remaining traffic that needs to be protected. I think that is another hot topic. Clearly, it's another project. It's about the future, because with this, you know what you have to fix to be compliant. This is your next best actions. You have to get approval to say, okay, I'm now going to start to encrypt some more kicks or some more DB2, and you're going to lose friends probably in this adventure. But it's a thing that needs to be decided and anticipated. So okay, you saw we have information with the IP address source and destination, job name, user ID, port, and with that, it's excellent because we can use some network modelizations to show from where to where. And once we have a connections, we can increase the size according to the number of network connection and sessions for these routes. So we can identify motorway and a path for hiking, let's say, but that still exists. So basically, you can cartography and data map all of your network routes from the mainframe. What is important is to set the main KPIs or key metrics. What is important for you? The number of sessions. So a sessions may allow the traffic of one or multiple connections. Number of connections, maybe, so without the sessions, or the gigabyte transferred, it depends. Every organization has their own master metrics or key metrics. This is important for data leaks use cases. So your cyber defense specialist may be keen to check where the data goes and how busy in terms of transfer, some routes maybe. Connections, quantity, sessions is what are the most frequent routes, let's say, in terms of connections, but from a session point of view. Many ways to think about it. My recommendation is once you have this list from the zERT aggregation records, you start to identify what is the intra-LPAR traffic, meaning you are not moving out from the LPAR, and you will see a lot of such traffic. So localhost to 127.0.0.1, so the application next door. You are not moving out from the LPAR. The risk, to my mind, is quite small. Only an insider can dump and can check what's happening here. There is no wire. Okay. Then circular, meaning from a network interface, network card to another one, still in the same. The next step is you have to figure out quality and quantity of your traffic LPAR to LPAR inside the same machines. So two LPAR dialoguing together. Okay, there is no wire one more time. Okay, only insiders from different LPARs may be involved to sniff and to check what is happening and to try to intercept data into the clear. Then LPAR to LPAR between different cases. It's another story because now you have IT elements, network, top of the rack switch, and if someone can plug on that, you may be able to see things into the clear. The LDAP schema, logging password into the clear, and the critical data flowing to DB2 that is not protected with a TLS protocol. That's a risk you may face. And to conclude, for all of the IP address you don't know, it's the it's the outside. So that is the first thing we have to think about. And there are three exceptional case that needs to be considered in case it's important. Okay, the connection from the LPAR to the storage systems, because this is also a network flow. The data that should persist from DB2 to the storage box will flow straight to the clear up to the storage systems, and then it will be encrypted by the storage systems. So we have a solution for storage links that can be used, sysplex, so the data shared between members of the sysplex and the connections to the LPAR itself that you can keep an eye on and see what you can do. But this can be seen by zERT. Okay. Once you have such source of data, and according to the amplitude, you may be able to create such alluvial charts, like river charts, and you can see that this is your organization, the number of LPAR that are evaluated, and what you see is these LPAR are mainly connected to the outside, non-mainframe environment, or a few part of the traffic is inter-LPAR, or a few of the traffic is localhost, meaning it's taking the LPAR, or circular from a network interface to another. So typically, the kind of model you can create simply reusing the zERT structure as is. You copy paste it, you go on charts online, or with an existing application of your choice that from raw data can create some analytics and beautiful chart of this kind, and then you have a good rendering, let's say, that may be useful. Another thing is model the traffic between LPARs. And then that's interesting because I don't know what these LPAR are doing, but someone from the customer is able to say, what is that? It should not work that way because the name of this LPAR should not connect to this one. You can see things that should not exist. Or you can confirm in front of the auditor that my segregation with plex and plex is effective because there is no cross traffic from different LPARs. It's exactly what such model and cartography can help you to demonstrate. This is sysplex traffic. Who can say what's wrong here? definitely, yeah. I put the arrow there, and that was the situation I faced in a customer premises. And the guildies, he said, "Okay, show me now the user ID and job name and the date and so on." So he shows. And the person in the room raised the hand and say, "Oh, that's me, because at this time I need some data and for test purpose, and the application that needs to go into production by this date and so on." And it was visible. It was temporary, but captured during the data collection, and we were able to demonstrate that. So the reason why I'm showing you this, it's because from the multitude, with all of these different flows and traffic, we can focus on one LPAR and applying what we know from zERT, simply counting the number of network sessions that are not protected versus one is protected. We can focus from a server posture. We can focus only on what is not protected today. And then focusing on two columns, job name, user ID, and counting the number of sessions concerned, we can have an idea of which workload is at risk or is important or urgent to be protected, but we have a good idea. If you want to come back with good figures saying, okay, I promise you, and this year 20% more of the network will be encrypted, you should focus on KICS or FIN or MQ in this case. But this is how we can conclude, thanks to this effort to model the traffic that is not protected, and then to identify finally the workload, let's say, that is not protected today, and if there is an opportunity, a business need, a reason to make this workload more secure. Okay. So interestingly also, you never know how to present as simple things like this according to the quantity and the variety of the data you're going to face with zERT. There is a wonderful website named D3GS, data-driven document, and there is some inspireful, let's say, model that you can use to beautify the data we were able to extract from there. So I will try to zoom a bit here. I don't know if
Probably take a few seconds.
okay. That is a kind of work product that is popular, and we used to produce many times.
I feel it.
Okay, it's what we call a circular dendrogram. In fact, it's from the center, you have all of your LPARs, and then in the first ring, you have all of the protocol, let's say in use, so TLS, IPsec, and SSH. And in the last ring, you have all of the IP address connected to your LPARs. It's colorized. So basically, simply reading in the outer circle, you can have an idea of the class of IP addresses. It's well sorted, and okay, this is power machine, this is front end, this is ATM, this is this, and you have an idea of what is protected, what is not protected. And for the network specialist, it's wonderful, even if they are not part of the mainframe teams, because their view to the LPAR. And then you can collaborate with them, providing documents they use to read every day. So I don't know what is happening.
We have you are? Yes. Let me just see what happened on Team. It's just no wood rail. But the good news is everyone remote could see the change that you made. Okay, a minute or two to
maybe stop sharing and sharing
yeah,
again.
I've done that. That should come through in a minute.
Okay, so I will go to the next one then. Okay. I will move this one. Okay.
There you go.
Next thing is, you know what is not good and the reason why, and you know what you should do in the future to protect more your network. How can you industrialize, let's say, this handy and manual practice? It's easy. Everything starts from the connection with the SMF record, the zERT record here, and you should find the best way to push such source of information to the existing security function in your organization, such like the CM, the store, log host. Okay, you have to push this plus the knowledge center link explaining what the SMF 119 subtype 12 is. Otherwise, they cannot exploit this SAO. With that, and this is a huge amount of data that you are ready to forward. So, interestingly, it's set of columns. It's easy to parse and it's easy to ingest. So it can be offline process. You create flat files or CSV file, and then it's a FTP push every day, every month, I don't know. And then it's ingested, or it could be streamed with ZCDP, for example, or any other application of this kind to simply stream in live or near real time the SMF records. So that is what you can do at first. Second, and that is an example with Elastic. But I did that with Splunk, QRadar, Azure Sentinel. It does not matter. It's very easy then to create some dashboards that are mimicking, let's say, the Excel spreadsheet or the chart I showed you. So that is the episode. Okay. Yeah. So it can create, let's say, dashboard of this kind from where you can see the overview, the split per protocol over the time, per LR, and you can set some threshold. Threshold may generate alerting and notifications, and then those in charge to remediate, we start to think about and to fix and to initiate the response. So this is basically what you do with using this SMF record. With Splunk, it's also easy, and with a connected or disconnected method. In this case, I imported the CSV. In the previous one, it was automatic every day. So really, it's up to you now to say, okay, I'm going to forward you such source of information, and you can find this, and then you can apply for this use case and this use case and this use case. Information is do that when you are clean, okay? Otherwise, they will. So this will take the response from the security and the cyber. Because the SMS then analyzing there with this or it's a max because the data has a long way to travel, and we can share some deep, let's say, dashboard and to try and to analyze data. But when that will go to something else, then we say, in real life, they have for this huge amount and it's a huge amount of data they have to process. So a transformation process is required there. You have to keep it, or you have a crazy process because or with a so what's the thing you cannot have. So you be prepared for that. You can thread them. If we want that, I will send you my SMS record and we will see. This is another. So this is the thing that you may have in mind. As a conclusion, my last slide, my two last slides. Network security is a must. There is it's a trendy topic, clearly. With zERT, you can check and monitor, let's say, the status of your network security and encryptions, quality and quantity. It has been introduced with ZOS 2.3. The reason why I'm reminding that is you already have it. You just have to turn it on. That's very important. Okay, I'm gonna switch to this statistic slide at first. Yeah. So I'm not here to name anyone, but 71% of the volume of network session not protected, using not a single secured protocol. So not IPsec, not TLS, not SSH. Regarding the volume of network session we analyzed during my security assessment, 28% was SSL TLS, which is good. A few SSH. A few of customers are using SSH. Most of the time is for some commands to Unix, to USS, or to copy some dataset or data, but not a lot of traffic. And IPsec is not a thing that is important also. I mean, 33% of my customers used outdated digital certificate using a public key size too small. That is definitely too important. I mean, some, okay, 33%, there is something rotten somewhere. But each time when we check what's behind is TN3270, so it was good 10 years ago for the first who set this up in the organization, but as no one refreshed what has been done 10 years ago, it's still there. And then we can see such legacy implementations. 44% is the adoption rate regarding the volume of what we analyzed of the use of key exchange mechanism using ephemeral keys. It's not that good because with TLS 1.3, perfect forward secrecy is mandatory. So the cost and the penalty in terms of performance will be high when the standard will be TLS 1.3. Yeah, that is a thing that you have to keep in mind. TLS 1.2 is a standard. It is a good news. But customers struggle to sunset SSL v3, v1, and 1.2. Time to time is just several connections, okay, remaining. That's good. But when I ask, are you aware of that? Of course. Okay. Did you trace, or did you isolate, or did you do something else? No. Then there is an issue. So it's very important to be sure that it's countered, documented, and accepted. And the TLS 1.3, currently, the adoption is very low. Some applications, some network sessions, let's say, new applications deployed with TLS 1.3, with ATTLS behind, but desperately not enough. This is important because when we go on the Qualys website, comparing or assessing the quality of the TLS worldwide with the most used 150,000 websites in the world, the TLS 1.3 adoption is close to 80%. And in the mainframe, we are close to 1%, between 1 and 3%. So, yeah, one more time, technical gap that needs to be minded. Otherwise, you have a problem with the change of the protocol and the performance impact. So thank you for your attention. This ends this presentation, and I hope that you will be pleased to use more zERT in the future. And if you don't know how to, I will be pleased to help you.
Thank you. So I am involved with this site that I work out. I've been asked to set up all this RACF stuff for the ZOSMF. I have never ever seen so many RACF profiles on ZOSMF. There was hundreds of them, isn't there? There's loads of zERT.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah. They were starting to So we have a question. So
do we have customers running IPsec with IKE version 2? We're running like
IKE version 2, yes, I think so, yes.
we're running it. The question was, do we have customers running IPsec with IKE version 2? we're running version 1 and having a tough time to move to version 2.
Yes, we do. If it is yes or no, the answer is yes,
Yeah.
we do. And if we have the name of the person, I can probably connect or let him know.
Yeah.
If we can get some feedback and return of experience.
If you let me know the name, so I'll drop
Will do.
a note to Guillaume.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
We want to know now. That's a key question. We want to know what is the status of your organization. That's important.
We've got another question.
Yeah.
What use cases are you using for IPSE for
For
IPsec? Sorry, I'm reading it.
Oh, okay. For IPsec, I'm checking different phase of the IPsec connection with checking the cipher suite to set the trust at first, the quality of the encryption algorithm, and so on. So the version. I'm checking many things, so I can share my scorecard, let's say, and what I look for, and then. To be honest, the last time I did an IPsec health check for that lasts from 2 years, and I probably need to resharpen the saw, but the criteria are already set from my list.
Is that because you can't encrypt the individual connections?
For that, I don't know.
In terms of your statistics, so the one of the systems I'm working on at the moment, we are definitely using TLS 1.3. So yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's a
But
brand new system.
My statistic is based on this, what I saw, you know.
Yes. You can add that. You can add another % to that one.
Yeah, well, are there anything at all for what those statistics are like for other platforms?
Yes, I do.
Can we just repeat the question for the remote viewers?
Do we have statistics about what the other platform look like in terms of TLS adoption and practice? Can you open a web page?
Yes.
So one of my oracle, so a source of reference in order to know what the others are doing and how good they are doing.
Where do you want to go?
I go on Qualys SSL Pulse
Okay.
with one Q and a lot of S.
I'll let you type it in. Go on.
Qualys. It's an English keyboard. Look like
Internet connections part. So like it every moment.
And by the way, what I'm going to show you could be your consideration on dashboard creations and how you should use the zERT data collections, let's say, to achieve to an objective of trying if you are using certificate as part of a chain, there can help you to do that. Cipher strength, it means the cipher in you that use a symmetric key with key size, so superior or equal to 128 bytes. And this is the protocol support for the most frequented websites, SSL-v2, SSL-v3. So some evidence of a remaining connection of this kind. V1, V1.1 is clearly small. V2 and V3, you see 60%. And you have this overview for every month, I think. So you can go back to the past and see the evolution of this.
Wow.
So many that should apply to every organizations. For the key exchange strength, best protocol support. This is what we just talked about. The cipher suite, the fake forward secrecy. We are 44%, and most of the users use let's say a browser supporting perfect forward secrecy. So it means that the server support that also. So it's very important to have an idea of what we are doing and where we are compared to the standards.
Hey, thank you very much, Liam.
You're welcome.